Coming off of the first movie, the question is, what happens when the leader of your moral center, what happens when that's gone? Like, how does Superman's death impact his world?
We were trying to find a way in a story to tell people there is no way to replace Superman.
The beginning of the reign of the Supermen, I think, is straight to kind of introduction of these replacements.
These four Supermen, what do they each represent?
Every attempt of a new film brings a new vision. It was the notion of bringing a comic book to the screen in a way that the fans really deemed most appropriate.
You really saw Lois take control of the story.
What if one of them really is Clark, reborn?
Are any of them the real Superman or a trace of the real Superman? I think one of the most famous images from the death of Superman event in the comics is Lois Lane cradling the dead Superman in her arms, like the Pietà. That image is just wrought with emotion.
Superman represents hope. And at the end of Death of Superman, that hope is lost. The question of where we go from there is what we're trying to explore with this story.
We learned from Superman Doomsday, deliver the full novel. We're going to cover the complete story as a two-parter. I think there'll be many wonderful surprises to the fans.
And what is their place in a world without a Superman?
The threat that humanity faces has a whole new dimension.
Terrible things are coming, Lois.
There's a point in the story where members of the public in Metropolis are invited to join one of the Supermen in a kind of crusade.
We have always written stories about being cautious about who we elevate and who we follow. With Superman out of the picture, who do we turn to? We can make a lot of mistakes as human beings. We see a lot of that play out in Reign of the Supermen. We were able to take something from the book and amplify it, kick up the stakes a little bit. So the threat, it's more threatening than ever.
Supermen we know nothing about.
The four Supermen, they each have their own agenda, some good, some bad.
Superboy it's Superman if he'd been raised by the Kardashians.
Hello, ladies.
He wants not only to be the hero, but also the good PR that goes along with it.
John Henry Irons represents the humanity and heart that Superman brings to the show.
Superman saved his life at one point. In the absence of Superman, he feels like it's his job to take on the mantle, and so he creates Steel.
Criminals must be eradicated.
The Eradicator represents the quarter of Superman that is the last son of Krypton.
Eradicator, for one, I feel is Spock on steroids. You know, it's this very calm, sort of controlled being, but with the force of Superman that can just, wreak havoc when he sees fit.
Surrender or be eradicated.
He's there in the interest of providing power and taking back the things that were influenced by Kryptonian technology.
Lex Luthor is not a criminal.
Cyborg Superman is really the power of Superman.
He's just a little devoid of emotion.
If you took Superman and divided him into four parts, that might be these guys. That is ultimately the big question. Can they pull it together? These Supermen, they've all taken a science and technology shortcut to becoming heroes.
And the fact that that's their goal, is to be a hero or to play a certain role or to be adulated, they're going at it with the wrong heart. If you want to lead, you have to be a servant. If you want to be served, you'll never be the leader. And that's, I think, what Superman embodies.
Lois, it's me.
You look like Superman, but Superman died.
Lois Lane's a hero, and we get to see her do some cool stuff.
She's almost the A-plot. She is the driving force behind all of this and solving the mystery, basically, of the Superman.
Well, look who's talking. Again.
So many of our actors that have come in for these characters have just had so much passion.
Robo people, come on. How long were we gone?
How can we really flesh out some of these deeper, sort of sub-layered stories within this tragedy and this immersion of new heroes?
Now, who the hell are you?
I'm Superman.
Jerry O'Connell, who's our Superman, to hear his twist on Cyborg Superman was really delightful.
Hello, Miss Lane.
You know, knowing that my wife, Rebecca Romaine, is playing Lois Lane, it does also give me a voice to play off of.
You don't look so bad yourself.
She's such an iconic character, and now having played her now for these two movies, I feel this real connection with her.
I know what to ask these guys.
It's fun to try and imagine how Jerry is playing the Superman to my Lois Lane in these scenes.
It's a true super couple, it really is. We should get tattoos or something.
Yes, but in my defense, I'm horribly insensitive, so...
Nathan is great as Hal Jordan just for his wit and swagger and cockiness and strength.
He must get that from you, Donovan.
I love Rain's performance for us as Lex Luthor.
There's my cue.
I think it's a testament to Rain and his commitment to the part and wanting to not only forge something that would be true to what all fans have come to expect with this film, but also forging new ground.
Ah! Ah! Oh!
He kind of saves the Justice League. I don't know, could Lex Luthor be the newest member of the Justice League? Watch and see.
We can sometimes deliver certain characters and their emotions and build upon them. And that's what we plan to do with this project as well.
It's been 3 months since Doomsday, and the world is still shaken by the death of Kal-El of Krypton.
Death of Superman is about how we destroy our heroes, and Reign of the Supermen is about how we make them. They both have a lot to say about us.
I can't believe he's gone.
There's an element of hitting sort of rock bottom, right? And then pulling yourself up from the phoenix that rises from the ashes. And there's a universal truth to, I think, those stories.
Fictional character, real guy, it doesn't matter. He's setting the example of not always what you can do, but what you should do.
This graphic novel on Death of Superman is a top 3 and a very treasured icon of really portraying Superman in a way with both the highs and lows and the battles that he needs to face along with Lois and others. And that's truly been inspirational in the development of this project.
When Superman is gone, is the hope gone? I think that we find it. Whether we find it by recreating that ideal that we had before, whether we look for it in somebody new, or whether we look within ourselves, there is always a possibility to find that hope again.
We may not be able to bring the beat down, but we sure as hell can make some noise. Am I right?